Hi everybody, welcome to the Manifold channel. Today we're going to learn how to georeference an image that we make from the web. We're going to do a screenshot and then we're going to georeference it. And we're working with Manifold System Release 9, which is what you see here, and this also works in the free viewer as well. We're going to go to a website this right here from the gplates.org website, which provides a variety of geologic maps, including those from past history. This is one from 200 million years ago, and we can either work with this as a 3D globe or click here, 2D map, to work with it as a 2D map. And if we zoom all the way out, that will show us the whole map, which covers plus and minus 90 degrees latitude and plus and minus 180 degrees longitude. So we make a screenshot of this, and I've done that outside of this video. I made a screenshot, and now we're going to import that screenshot, which is a plain ordinary image. It's a PNG image, as you can see right here, called Geology 200. Click Import, and there it creates an image. Double click that open, and there you see there's the image as a screenshot that we made from that website. What we want to do is we want to georeference this so that we can use it in GIS work to overlay it and see where the locations of these continents and their geology as it was 200 million years ago, how does that correspond to modern continents. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new map. Right click into the project pane, choose Create New Map, and I want to use Bing Street Maps as a base layer. And what I want to do, I want to change the coordinate system to the map to latitude and longitude. So that's a very important step. Make sure you click here and choose latitude and longitude. Click Create Map, and now we've created a map. So now we have a map that's here, which is a Bing Street Maps image. And you can see it's somewhat distorted because Manifold is reprojecting the Bing Street Maps, which is in pseudomercator, on the fly into latitude and longitude. Okay, let's go back to the Geology 200 map, and now what we're going to do is we're going to create some control points. So I'm going to turn on the register pane. I'm going to click it right there, and here in the cursor mode, I'm going to choose Edit Control Points, and now I'm going to add 4 control points at the corners of this display. To do that conveniently, I'm going to right-click and zoom, right-click and drag to a zoom box to that corner, and now I can more conveniently click that control point right there. Put one right there. It's P1. It automatically names them, and then I'm going to right-click and drag here to get to that corner there. Click P2. Click the back button. Right-click and drag down here to P3. Click the back button and right-click and drag down here to create a 4th control point called P4. So now we have 4 control points. If we want, we can save those. If not, we can just leave them the way they is. We're going to leave that as long as we leave this window open. Those control points stay the way they are. Actually, let's take a moment to save those. Let's save control points, and we'll call these control points. Let's rename them. Let's call them Geology control points. The rename dialog is great because it'll rename multiple things at once. All right, now let's put some control points in the map, where we're going to georeference them. And so here's the map, and in the register pane for the map, let's choose the source of control points we're going to georeference. It's going to be the Geology 200 window, so that's going to bring in those control points from that window right there, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if we want to remember how these will look, we can I can undock the Geology 200 map to remind us at any time to just kind of leave that there. And I'll pull it somewhat off screen here. Actually, let's drop it right down there in the bottom. All right, let's work with this map here, and I'll undock that too to make that easier to manipulate, so I can see the 2 maps at the same time. And let's mark 4 control points on that. Again, I choose here Edit Control Points, and I can put these anywhere, just as long as they're approximately about where we want it to be: P1, P2, P3, P4. And you think, okay, so how are we going to adjust those to be so they're exact? Because this one here is P1 is exactly 90 degrees north, 180 degrees minus 180 degrees is 180 degrees west. So to adjust those exactly, what I can do is here in this list style, I can choose Show Coordinates, and this shows the coordinates for what these are. And I can manually change those. I can double click into this and Control A, minus 180, 180. Click Enter. Now enter here and Control A. I'll make that 90. And I've just adjusted that control point, so that's exactly the right location. I'll do the same with the others to change this to 180, and I choose this, change this to 90. And here I'll choose this to change this to minus 180. And here this is minus 90. And this is plus 180. and this one down here is minus 90 also. So there, now I've saved all those four control. I've set all those four control points. I've adjusted them by double-clicking here into the coordinates list. Let's save these as well. Let's call this, and let's call these control points. Call these map control points. Actually, I want to use rename related on that. Right-click, choose rename related, and here, map control points. Yeah, rename. All right, so. We're now good to go. We have control points in the Geology 200 image, and we have corresponding control points in the map, and we've adjusted these so that they're exactly in the right location where we want it to be. And let's see, we have a choice here. We want let's use for the method. I'm going to go down here to thin plate spline, and if we know this is an RGB image that we're adjusting, we can use a control. We can use forward average method. If it's a palette image, we want to use forward nearest. So let's make it forward nearest just in case it's a palette image. I'll click preview to see what that's going to do, and you can see how preview is going to georeference this this Geology 200 image into position. That looks pretty good. So let's click register, and there it's done. I mean, it's that quick because this is a really tiny image, and by default it names it Geology 200 too. So let's drag and drop that into the map, and let's see what it does. And there we can see what it did is it georeferenced the image for us, and now we can see that. Okay, this is great, but it would be kind of cool if this gray region here was a transparent region. And there's an easy way to do that, and the easy way to do that is to start with a palette image. So let's import a palette image. Click File, Import, and here's a palette image. Import the palette image, and if I double-click that, open. Okay, let's undock that as well. You can see it looks the same, but it's actually a palette image. So instead of being RGB image, it's an index, also known as an index image. I'll close that. The quickest and easiest way to georeference that, since we've already have everything set up here, is to drag and drop that into this same window as the Geology 200 window. And there you can see the palette image. And the control points are still there. If we turn on the control points, because the control points relate to a window. And we can have as many windows as we want, as many layers as we want in this window, and use those same control points to georeference them. Let's double click that off, and here we still have the register pane going for the map window. I'll turn the control points back on. If I want, I can register not Geology 200, but instead I'm going to register Geology 200 palette. You can see where I chose it right here. Thin plate spine. I'm going to use forward near since we know that's a palette image, and click preview. And you can see there's the preview. So that's cool. Let's click register, and that's going to register it. That's now called palette 2. So let's drag and drop a palette image into the map, and you can see it's going to be black and white. Because it's a palette image, it doesn't retain automatically the styling, but that's easy to do. We can copy the styling from here, click properties, choose copy to choose the style pixel property, and here in the Geology 2 palette, let's click properties. Let's add a style pixel property. I filed a suggestion, by the way, to have all this done automatically for you, and I'm sure that's going to appear in the next couple of builds. Click OK, and there. That's now a palette image that's been georeferenced. Why is it important that it's a palette image? Because we click on style, and what we get is this display here that shows you the style of what that image is, and this shows all the different colors that are used. I've done this before, so I know this particular gray one here is the gray color right there. I can replace that with transparent color. So when I click Update Style, that replaces the gray color there with transparent color. And let's shift-click that to make it large. Let's dock this as well. Let's use that image right there. And now what we're looking at here is is our map, and we have two images that have been dragged and dropped in here. There's Geology 200, which is the one we did, which is an RGB image, and there's also this image here, which we georeferenced, which is the palette image, where we knocked out the gray color, and so that's uses now a transparent color, and that allows us to see how the continents fit together in what I believe is called Gondwana land. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right or not. You can see here's kind of like North America as it was in 200 million years ago, before the North American plate started moving off this way. Here's South America before it started going that way. Here's Africa before it peeled away from South America and rotated into position as Africa. Up here is Scandinavia and Europe, and here's Antarctica before it descended down to the South Pole. So there what we've done is we've georeferenced a whole world image where we started with something that was completely not georeferenced. It was just something that we basically scraped off the web. A lot of illustrations are like that, holder images where there's no georeferencing, but they're supposed to cover the entire planet. This shows you how you can georeference them using 4 control points, and it also shows you how, using the register pane, we can choose the style that we want. That shows us different bits of information about these various control points, and how we can manually edit the control points to use exact values. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Tell your friends about Manifold, and goodbye from Manifold Land. Well, that was fun. If you want to see more, visit us at www.manifold.net. As always, Manifold delivers the world's most advanced, highest quality spatial products for GIS and DBMS at a low price that you can afford. Once again, that's manifold.net. See you soon.